All right, hey everybody, Irwin here for Irwin McKen Online, and I want to thank you again for stopping by my blog. It's a great day today, and it's a great day to improve your life, your relationships, your health, and your business. And today's video really comes a day after I attended a relationship workshop, and it really inspired me to bring this post to you because I think it's important for us to never overlook the value of our ability to foster good relationships. And specifically, this workshop was in giving tips and skills for conflict resolution. And one of the things it talked about is how to have a good fight. In life, we as human beings, we won't always see things eye to eye, and we will fight. We'll have different opinions, and we'll be strong in what we want, and depending on the temperament we have, some of us are highly expressive, some of us are lower expressive, some of us are more flexible, and some of us are less flexible. And it's understanding these differences and knowing how to respond to these differences that will really create the best in our communication. Ultimately having being understood and having understanding. Being understanding and being understood is what's going to serve us long term. So this particular workshop, one of the I think one of the ahas or epiphanies, I think, for many of us was 4 things we can avoid when we have a pending conflict. Things to avoid to really keep the fight fair. If we're going to engage in a matter of conflict resolution, we need to make sure we don't add these 4 ingredients to the mix, because then things become very volatile, and then we just have a complete breakdown. So it's something that I want to share with you today, and it's what I wrote the blog about. So the first thing that this particular workshop talked about is to avoid criticism. In the midst of a dialogue where there's strong differing of opinions, you want to minimize the criticism. There is such a thing as constructive criticism, but really the criticism I'm talking about is one that is a more complaining, and it takes a shot or attacks the other individual. That is not healthy, and that is not serving because of the second point of what it creates. So we want to avoid criticism just because. If there's something founded and there's something that needs to be addressed, then it needs to be tempered, and it needs to be, as they say, sandwiched, maybe between a positive, complimenting the person on what they have done well rather than magnifying what they haven't. So just raw, blatant, unfounded criticism really is going to make things even more volatile. The second thing you want to avoid in a conflict is defensiveness. Now, of course, when someone takes a shot at us, or you take a shot at somebody, or that cheap shot, it's easy for someone to get defensive. We've all been there. What defensiveness does is it causes us to close up, withdraw, and build a shield and a fortress. And what happens is we are the ones that suffer because we become isolated in that moment, and what happens is nothing changes, it just grows. So defensiveness doesn't serve the conversation or the dialogue. It just gives us more of the same. While defensiveness is a natural instinct in human beings, it's a natural instinct to retaliate and draw back. It doesn't solve the issue. What it does is, if anything, it buries the issue. And the problem with burying a issue unresolved is it comes back to life to haunt us, and it becomes resurrected. And so remember this in life: any issue that you don't deal with and don't yet you bury unresolved will come back to life. So defensiveness doesn't solve anything. It's only going to bury it. The third thing you want to avoid in any conflict is you want to avoid contempt. And that's a really strong word. We heard the phrase contempt. When you're in contempt of court, the judge will basically bring his gavel down and say you're out of order. Contempt is a very caustic. It's a very toxic word, because when you have contempt, you're really holding on to a grudge, and it's just going to be something that that again doesn't get resolved and festers. And contempt in very close or intimate relationships is very toxic. It's something that really will destroy not only the individuals but the relationship. And what you don't want to do is ever hold on to anything. The whole point of a conversation, whether it be a strong debate, is you want to get your point out and be heard. You don't want to fester and fester, because what will happen is that that unresolved point will become it's like a wellspring of water. Water being the words and thoughts we want to share. They just become toxic, and what happens is that well of water will become poisonous, and you end up self-poisoning yourself because you build contempt, you holding that grudge. So contempt is something you don't want to add. And the final thing that the workshop talked about, the fourth thing you want to avoid in any conflict, is stonewalling. And stonewalling, if you've been there, you know, in any discussion or heated debate, you literally are just vying to be right rather than have harmony. It's all about your point. You want your point validated. You want to have the other person affirm, and you want to be right. And what stonewalling does is it totally clouds all judgment and can actually get you so physically upset that it manifests physically in your neck muscles, your the way that you your frown, your face, and literally when a situation manifests that greatly upon you, it can have some severe and serious ramifications with your health, where your health is concerned. So, you know, word of caution: never let a matter, a situation, especially amongst someone that's important to you, get you that upset to the point where it manifests in your muscles or on your physical body, because then you're entering into you know, a position of really negative effect on your body. And so these four things really I want to share with you today. You know, we're human beings. We're going to have conflict. We're going to run across people that don't see it the way we see it, don't see eye to eye, but it's normal, it's natural. And if you will avoid these four things as you communicate and connect and dialogue with people, it's going to serve you well. So again, avoid criticism. You know, make sure that you know, you minimize that, and if you're going to level a charge, that it's founded, and you bring it in a sandwich it in a positive. You want to not be defensive. Don't shield and go and retort and withdraw, because it never solves the issue. Okay, you don't want to hold contempt and a grudge. You know, that is going to just you know, surface again, and it's going to come back stronger and be more damages. And finally, you don't want to stonewall to the point where you're so stiff and it's all about your point and you want to be right, where nothing else matters, and to the point where it affects you in your physical body. These four things, if you will avoid and you will keep them in the back of your mind, or the forefront of your mind, you're going to really be better at conflict resolution. It will serve you not only in your professional interactions, but in your personal interactions. The relationships are the most important to your life. So, Erwin McCann for Erwin McCann Online, the four things to avoid in any conflict. I hope that you got value from this. If you did, share it around on Facebook and share it with a friend, any other people that might benefit. And we'll see you guys on the next video. Make it a great day, and we'll see you on the next video.